ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for this opportunity to make my presentation with the title Closer Economic Relationship between the European Union and Azerbaijan. I feel honored to attend this conference and to be the first speaker of the panel, and thank you very much for the invitation, Director. Soon we will have the presentation. In my presentation I will talk about 4 issues and 4 fields of the Azerbaijan and European relations, and of course the starting point is Azerbaijan is in a kind of bridge road between the East and the West, and it is determining the situation both from the political point of view and from the economic point of view. Thank you very much. Finally. Thanks. So in my presentation I will talk about, in very short, of course, because we do not have enough time to fully discover these topics, about the trade relations, investment relations, transportation and logistics, and of course energy. Let's see the trade relations. The starting point in the EU-Azerbaijan relations is the PCA, Partnership and Cooperation Agreement, which is signed already in 1999, a kind of non-preferential trade and investment agreement. And of course, the European neighborhood policy and the Eastern Partnership dimension is very important. Of course, the Eastern Partnership is more about the security issues in this region, but of course, through this approach, it is having definitely economic importance as well. Regarding the future WTO membership, Azerbaijan would also tighten and deepen the trade relationship with the European Union. And subsequently, eventual bilateral, deep and comprehensive free trade area will a kind of opportunity in this regard too. If we analyze the numbers of the export and import of Azerbaijan, we can see that EU, already 28, is the most important partner, both from the export and from the import side. And actually, if we see the numbers in the import last year, it was approximately 1/3 of the import originating from the European Union countries, and more remarkable is the share from the export, of course, due to the very high proportion of the energy commodities within the export structure. What are the challenges in trade with the European Union from the Azerbaijan side? Reducing barriers and administrative burdens could boost the economic relationship with the European Union. The previously mentioned agreements and the future happenings will help a lot to make the business between the European Union countries and Azerbaijan easier and more efficient. The structure of the export to the EU is less balanced than the import. In 2015, almost 100% of the exported goods were primary products. Of course, it is a kind of problem regarding the economic structure, as the added value in this case is lower than normally it would be if the country would export processed goods. And from the import side, however, it is 91% consist of manufactured goods. So there is an imbalance in this regard. Azerbaijan export predominantly mineral products, like crude oil or oil products, to the European Union, while it imported machinery and transport equipments. So the processed goods, and that is sometimes the problem in the oil-rich countries, that the export is containing raw materials and products, but the import containing value-added products. And in this regard, the calculation of the GDP is not so optimistic. Between 2011 and 2015, the annual average growth rate of the import from the European Union was around 5%. However, the export to the EU dropped by 8.8%, annual average for the same period. it is meaning that the balance is worse than in the previous period. If we jump to the investment relations, I know that we have few times only, a very short time. So we are talking about flourishing investments. The European Union is not only the main trade partner, but also a key foreign investor in Azerbaijan. Between 2009 and 2013, the foreign direct investment to Azerbaijan from the European Union more than doubled. FDI from the European Union to Azerbaijan is around 5 billion euro in 2013, I mean the accumulated number. The expansion of European direct investments have accelerated in 2014. The FDI stock from the European Union to Azerbaijan reached already 8.1 billion euro, which is quite promising, especially after the crisis and under the certain and nowadays circumstances. FDI to Azerbaijan increased dynamically, and we can state that Azerbaijan is an attractive target for the foreign capital from the European Union, but also from other parts and other regions of the world. Azerbaijan itself is also a considerable foreign investor. We can see it also in the European Union. However, the direct investments from Azerbaijan to the EU remain still limited, and it is going not always into the production sector in the industry, but let's say the real estate sector. The IMF, regarding or based on the IMF data, the net FDI of Azerbaijan grew from 1.5 to 2.4% of the GDP between 2013 and 2016. And here we can see some characteristics of the investments. Still, the oil sector and the government are playing a leading role within the investments. And although the increasing share of the private sector, government continues to play a dominant role in investments. And about half of the private investments are realized in the oil sector. And I know very well that in the strategy or in the new strategy of Azerbaijan, the focus is very much on the diversifying of the economy and less government investments and less investments in the oil sector. I mean, regarding the share, not the volume. Regarding the investments, what are the challenges? And of course, these are very much connected to the economic policy actions, or with the economic policy actions. Managing negative external shocks and increased vulnerability is one of the most important challenges. Of course, low oil prices, currency devaluation, weakening economic growth, rising inflation, erosion of current economic surplus, increasing fiscal deficit. Azerbaijan had made numerous actions to tackle the challenges, like strengthening the stability of the financial sector, strategy to diversify the economy, creating more business-friendly environment, and pursuing structural reforms. Regarding transportation and logistics, we can see the previously mentioned bridge role of the country from the east to the west, and I also know very well, and we can see. We can see the. Of course, the geographical situation that Azerbaijan has very good opportunities to make business from this situation, and attracting both investments and logistical structures into the country. From the Hungarian perspective, we have a lot of experience because we have almost the same situation. Of course, we have not the sea coast. However, as a kind of landlocked country, we also have good opportunities, and we can share these experiences with our Azerbaijani friends. The key projects, not all of course, but only a few of them. These are the transport corridor, Europe-Caucasus-Asia, the TRACECA. It is the EU program launched already in 1993, encouraging regional cooperation. And enhancing, the main aim is enhancing their capacity to access European and world markets through alternative transport routes. And the other big project is the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, TITR, established in Baku for cheaper and more time-effective transportation. Azerbaijan's role in the TRACECA cooperation. This cooperation could significantly contribute to the revival of the Great Silk Road. Of course, there are some movements from the China side with the One Road, One Belt huge program, and Azerbaijan has to take into consideration how could be this cooperation part of this larger initiative. Large-scale infrastructure projects have been implemented in Azerbaijan, which has great transit opportunities as a bridge between Europe and Asia, like the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway, the BTK Railway project, expected to transport 30 million tons of cargo annually, motorway from Baku to the border with Georgia, and the Baku International Seaport and Caspian ferries, and the commercial cargo to the Far East. Challenges and perspectives are Ukraine and Lithuania joined the cooperation already. It is opening new opportunities and new markets. Competitiveness and profitability of TITR are the main challenges. Duration and transportation costs should be competitive. Container trains should be filled in both directions, and the ferries can also cause additional delay in cost. And the last topic is the energy. I think the most famous topic nowadays in Azerbaijan, in the region, especially regard to the lower oil prices. We can see and we know, of course, that Azerbaijan is in a central position and also aiming to diversify its transport opportunities to other markets. Azerbaijan as a significant energy producer and transit country, we can define. Estimated crude oil reserves are quite huge, and also the natural gas reserves. There are considerable fiscal reserves of the state oil fund of Azerbaijan, and the oil and gas industry of Azerbaijan is considered relatively open and dynamic. And the SOCAR, the Azerbaijan State Oil Company, is an agile player internationally too, so we could see during the football or the soccer European Championship everywhere the promotion of the company, so already an average European citizen is knowing very well what is SOCAR. Azerbaijan is a strategic partner for the EU regarding the energy, diversifying the sources of energy import of the European Union, and the energy sector of Azerbaijan is an attractive investment target for European companies. And let's see the external and internal challenges. First of all, rapid and fundamental changes in the international oil and gas industry. Let's see the geopolitical changes, the example of Iran, emergence of new technologies, volatile and persistently low international commodity prices, changes in market forces, transforming energy production, and the other big part or big challenge is the necessary structural changes of the economy, of the national economy. Commodity prices fluctuation has a fundamental financial impact, which has to compete and managed by the government, increasing the importance of non-oil sectors in order to reduce vulnerability of the national economy, and improving business environment to attract more foreign investment. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I tried to make it shorter than expected, but I hope that you got an overview on the relations, and I am happy to answer your question at the end of the session, at the end of the panel. Thank you very much.